After George Floyd was killed last year in police custody, protests exploded in America's streets. Reaction also extended to corporate boardrooms. To show solidarity, some of America's biggest companies donated millions to support racial justice causes. Justin Hansford teaches law at Howard University in Washington, where he also heads the Thurgood Marshall Civil Rights Center.
I did see there being a rush of real financial contributions coming from corporate America, moving to HBCUs, contributions to social justice organizations, Black Lives Matter. They raised tens of millions of dollars, much more than they've raised in the past 7 years.
In sports, the Commissioner of American Professional Football apologized to players for not listening to their concerns about racism sooner, committing $250 million to tackle the issue over the next decade.
The murder of George Floyd is tragic, painful, and unacceptable.
Big box retailer Walmart pledged to donate $100 million over 5 years to fight systemic racism. Soft drink conglomerate PepsiCo, meanwhile, retired the 132-year-old Aunt Jemima pancake mix and syrup brand, whose logo featured an image of a black woman. The U.S. company said it recognized the character's origins were based on a racial stereotype. It also committed to a 5-year, $400 million initiative to lift up black communities. Despite such actions, America still has healing to do, according to Robert Sanders of the Henry C. Lee College of Criminal Justice and Forensic Sciences at the University of New Haven.
One of the things that is tough for the African-American community and those who empathize with us is there hasn't been any time to heal. So from one monstrous event, as you begin the stages of grief and healing and all of those things, we roll right into another one.
The conviction last month of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was a watershed moment, according to Hansford.
Many of us have gone generations without ever expecting to see a police officer convicted for killing a black man. I was thinking about the Rodney King trial, the Trayvon Martin trial. I expected the same outcome. The different outcome to me has a lot to do with the fact that the protests raised awareness in the minds of the jury to the point where they were more knowledgeable about the realities of whether or not a police officer is 100% right 100% of the time.
There must be a reckoning for other police officers who were present when Floyd died, Sanders says.
There are 3 other perpetrators who, in some ways, you could look at their illegal activity as even more horrifying, as aiding, abetting the murder that they saw in front of their own eyes as their fellow citizens pleaded for them to get engaged and to stop it.
Those officers are awaiting trial. Meanwhile, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland recently opened sweeping probes of police departments in 2 U.S. cities, including the one where Floyd died.
They're looking at the facts of what's going on in our nation and in our policing. And I'm hopeful that, going into and launching a civil probe of policing in Minneapolis and a civil probe of policing in Metro Louisville, where Breonna Taylor was killed, is a start. They're not solutions, but they're a start on the path toward finding a solution, at least in the justice system.
Democrats in the House of Representatives passed the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. The bill would limit the qualified immunity police officers have against civil suits and create a national registry of police misconduct. The legislation faces hurdles in the Senate, where Republican Tim Scott has introduced his own police reform bill and is in negotiations with Democrats in the evenly divided chamber. Mariama Diallo, VOA News, Washington.